So parceled body armor plate, long black boot, ballistic helmet, electric diffuser, any disco bulb, and gave them to OA bus with the registration number GT 5771-18. Part of the statement reads, the suspect reportedly said he called one Siso at Walewale to take a delivery of the parcel, but later held that the police had arrested Siso. The police, in a statement shared on Tuesday, announced the interception 2,600 rounds of ammunition heading for Walewale in the northeast region by its officers in the Ashanti region. It also said that it arrested 3 people, including the driver of the vehicle transporting the items. The Ashanti South Regional Police Command has arrested 2 suspects for unlawful possession of 2,600 AK-47 ammunition and related accoutrements of the Kantanso Asankare police barrier in the Ashanti region. Now, the suspect, Kwame Afram, a bus driver, and Godfred Isel, a mate, were arrested on the 26th of December 2025 when the police officers on duty intercepted a Kia Grandbird bus with registration number GT 5771-18 at Kantanso Asankare police barrier while traveling from Accra to West Walewale on the route part of the state. But an immigration officer, post for Sakano, like I said, a true hunsem na ono no wotema, and you transfer no call Paga in the up north. And ono chere say ni nyama bi akaye no, o ka chere na damfo ba kwa ono so ye immigration officers on parcel na nyama no emfama na won fam bre no. Na no eno mo chere so omochi bus ya on the 25th bronya no. Officers no intercepted a Kia Grandbird bus with registration number 5 GT 5771/18 ewo Kantanso Asankare police barrier and Elko to West Paga. Part of the statement reads, na omuchi omo no na kese enyama wom na ye 2,600 AK-47 ammunitions, any other accoutrement. Inti wei ena wo kire se wonyama wugya wo habo a wo no ya transfer wako no eno ene nyama wo se fambre wana na yeso omuchi nyama no omo so mo bodin se ni pese ene ye de koma no nti na kese ono immigration officer no so no aban saka no eno ho nsem enso wo ano pay 40 minutes past 8 o'clock. Hot Digital Online UK enche be ko man Ghana na yetie na poso yidi kan ade Donald Trump nsensem no abrel ama Venezuela president yakoche no one ne ho kafo aba Brooklyn Detention Center na ya sembe ya yenke bi nhyiemu Saturday ene yakoche no na eno na manfo bebre ho aka ho nsema se ekwan a Donald Trump nam so no enye kwan papa. Ghana buying through the Ministry of Information, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Edin Semna Tuja, aka kwan a Donald Trump cry na adwin se opese Venezuela krono omo take control until some benya substantive president ono ensusu ede oman no bejina ne kwanso ende no wonsem ensu bebre na no gold board ensem bae na ye wo bronyim enti minority in parliament eye Kojo Ponkroma and the head of the committee edin sem to dwa efa gold board hun sensem no ho like I say ono say $214 million bi IMF for and so this ensem na betu dwa say ya run loss e wo gold ye du hu dwa no na Sami Jemfio no ye CEO and so edin chichirima ba but a man for say yentiasie na yenton gold emboka nti honsem no so aye bubruja a man for eka honsem over the weekend no news file Sami Jemfi a no ASU enso de nsem bi tudwa ibetie ba komienu na yatoa yedwedie no so yentie no
Gold farmers, prices that sometimes are 30-40% discounted. Gold Board provides no good rules or no such incentives to miners, and therefore cannot have a justification to buy gold.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Difficult to smuggle because it is bulky. To smuggle cocoa, for it to make financial sense, means you're carrying bags and bags of cocoa, putting it in a truck to smuggle. Gold is a small asset, but high value asset. You can put 1 kg of gold in your pocket and cross the border, and nobody will know that you're carrying something. So you don't manage cocoa the way you manage gold. And when you're drawing parallels in a debate like this, make sure you're comparing like with like, not oranges with apples. In any case, this is the main point. Nobody is saying don't assess the efficiency of the gold board model like you assess the efficiency of the cocoa board model. But in assessing the efficiency of a policy, any policy analyst worth his salt would do that assessment from the perspective of policy objects and policy goals. So, Cocoa Board is making losses. Yes, you are right to assess that. Is Cocoa Board delivering on its mandate? Gold Board was established for the purpose of foreign exchange generation and supporting gold reserve accumulation. So when you are analyzing the efficiency of our model, you don't only look at cost, if indeed we were even incurring cost, but we are not. Currently, it is the BOG. This year, we may. Okay? But you look at it from the perspective of our cost versus the realization of our mandate or objects. That is not what you're doing. You're talking cost, 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 cost. In all your write-ups, you have never acknowledged the role and impact of Gold Board on this economy.
That's not correct.
Which the IMF even does. So that's number one. Number two,
I'll come to it.
He makes the argument that G4O was not for profit, and yet we discussed losses under it, and it has been scrapped. Yes, G4O was also a monetary policy intervention, not for profit per se. Our criticism of G4O was one, opacity. We didn't know who were the aggregators. We didn't know how good was being bought. We didn't know a lot of things. And the most important thing was that it was not delivering the outcomes it was supposed to deliver, at least relative to cost. So BOG did a cost-benefit analysis and said that, look, the exposures we are having under G4O, both on the gold side and on the oil side, is not worth the benefits we are getting in terms of fuel price reduction, which was or stability, which was the object of G4O.
On inflation.
So that is why they have scrapped it. So when you're doing the analysis, situate it in the right context. Then he says that we are interested in knowing the full chain of risk and issues and so you are interested in knowing. It means you don't know. And when you are interested in knowing something, you ask questions. You don't jump into hasty conclusions. That's number 3. Then number 4, he says the CEO of Gold Board will not admit losses, but will say that there is some cost anywhere. Hello, I said Gold Board has not made losses, and you have not been able to show that Gold Board has made losses. All you're talking about is cost under a BOG program. And you want to create an impression that cost under a BOG program on BOG books is Gold Board's cost. Where did you get that kind of analysis from? Where? So you are wrong. And we are not sharing blames, because what the BOG has done is worthy of commendation, like all Ghanaians are commending them. It is only you, or you Kabiru and the likes, who want to create an impression as though somebody at BOG has done something wrong, for which reason blame should be shared. For you to say that, oh, if at all that there is, you are saying that the issue is about burden sharing, or what did you even say? Blame sharing between Gold Board. It should be about blame sharing between Gold Board and the Gold Board.
Don't worry,
there is nothing like blame sharing.
all of it.
Again, he talks about no matter how you look at this, it is a trading loss and not just a mere administrative loss. Why? Because the IMF has said so. Okay, we are saying whether trading or administrative or whatever, we have explained to you that the bulk of this cost, which you are calling loss, over 97% of it comes about as a result of exchange rate translational differentials, because we buy gold at market exchange rate as pertains to non-bank transactions, but accountants convert FX proceeds at BOG rates. We buy gold as spot to fend off smugglers, because we want to prevent what happened in 2021 when a 3% discount led to a...
Tune it in. Turn it up. Hot Digital Online.
We incur transaction cost. You understand? So understand that. Then he says that from their investigation, they have heard that some self-financing aggregators are saying that Bower Rock is making their business difficult. They can't compete. But who told you that licensees of gold board are supposed to compete among themselves? Who told you that? If you don't have information, ask. Who told you that? A self-financing aggregator is not supposed to go and borrow money from any bank for any business. You don't even know that. The reason why we have allowed for self-financing aggregators is so that if there is an off-taker somewhere who wants to send dollars in advance of exports, he can send the dollars to a licensed self-financing aggregator through Gold Board's account. Gold Board takes the dollars and give the CD equivalent to the self-financing aggregator to go and buy gold at Gold Board's price. There is nothing like competition. At Gold Board's price. And then Gold Board exports the gold to the off-taker of the self-financing aggregator. We did not introduce that layer of license buying to create competition among licensed buyers, which will eventually lead to price hikes. Okay. And that will come on our books as increased cost. Then he says that Bower Rock, we checked from Income, and Bower Rock was not an exporter, and now they have learned that Bower Rock was only buying for somebody. Who told you that under the old regime, we only had gold exporters? Under the old regime, you must know that the PMMC issued gold trading licenses for people to buy and sell gold.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
He didn't have a license to buy and export, but he had a license from PMMC from 2016, 2017 to 2024 to buy and sell gold in Ghana.
So if you can keep your responses crisp enough, so I'm bringing in Senor. I'm bringing in Senor. You have done about 9 minutes.
Hold on.
I want Senor to come in now.
9 minutes.
It's most unfair.
As the CEO.
It's most unfair to
I'll come to him, and Senor himself may even give me part of his time. So I beg you.
He hasn't said
that's number one. That's number one. Then number two, he says that everything I've said about Bower Rock, all the issues about Bower Rock, is enough for Kojo Oponkroma and the MPP to have a suspicion that something may be wrong. Really, Bright? You hold press conferences based on suspicions?
Yes.
You write
yes.
All your write-ups based on suspicions?
In democracy, yes.
No. You don't go to town with suspicions as though they are conclusive facts.
They say,
when you have suspicions,
it's not mere suspicions. I mean, they say
yes.
It is an arrangement, a system to bleed the state whilst an individual is making a benefit.
Rather, and I've explained to you with documents that they cannot dispute.
So there was Sami Gemfi over the weekend, a war news file, a war joy. Na Kojo Oponkroma na Pam for so hold the press conference in regard to what these things happening. Say Gold Board, a ka enomre brain, nipebi, ena omunye musika, na nya abain. And your monson some of the two Jan Yentibi na Yentoy made in Swano pay 51 minutes past 8.
Yeah. As a caucus, when we run our numbers, we can project that it's going to get to about $300 million by the end of this year. 214 million in losses under the Gold for Reserve scheme is just 9 months. But there are a few other issues under that we want to draw your attention to as part of our preliminary remarks. First is to explain to you how these losses are being occasioned. Small-scale miners will not sell unless they are paid true global market prices, even if a slight discount is given to them, and at an exchange rate which the forex bureaus use. Second, the Gold Board therefore has to pay miners at real market value. However, Gold Board then sells the dollars it receives from offshore buyers back to the Bank of Ghana at the BOG or interbank rate, which is a weaker rate. Gold Board protects its books by passing the exchange rate losses directly onto the Bank of Ghana. So this is not a market fluctuation problem. This is a system that is designed to make losses and for the state to bleed, so intermediaries will remain secure and profitable. For those of you who recall, when the Gold Board Act was being passed, we extensively outlined why the regulator should be decoupled from a commercial entity that could do this and make profit. And you recall that we suggested that it would be better to have a limited liability company with capital so that this doesn't happen. This is exactly what has happened now. And so far, $214 million of loss, going towards $300 million by the end of the year. The third issue that we want to draw your attention to. This is not how the original structure of the Gold for Reserves program was designed. Now let's remind the nation about what the original structure was. It was a sovereign reserve building tool to help Ghana accumulate physical gold, strengthen our balance sheet, reduce reliance on foreign currency borrowing, and gradually stabilize the cedi. Under the original design, which was introduced by the NPP, Ghana's reserves increased from 8.7 tons to 31 tons in just 2 years. And no losses accrued because BOG bought physical gold directly for its reserves and not through intermediaries like some of who we have outlined, and not for speculative purposes. Now the model has been changed, contrary to the advice and all the advocacy that we did. And the Bank of Ghana, under the new structure, under the reset, they have ceded their mandate to the Gold Board, and Gold Board has also ceded to a private company, Bower Rock Limited, which now operates primarily as a trading company, not a reserve builder. And the moment we shift from holding strategic gold to trading gold, pricing and FX risks will appear. And the taxpayer in the end is the one who has to pay the $300 million at the end of the year. Now, despite unprecedented volumes of gold passing through Gold Board, our reserves have increased only from 31 tons to 38 tons, which undermines the past 22%, just 7 tons after all this theater. Under the MPP, without this theater, we increased by 256%. This is not prioritization of reserves, it's prioritization of rent seeking. This is where media attention should be focused. And that's why we're saying that these are preliminary remarks that we are beginning to draw your attention to, and we'll share more with you as we go along. Now, for those who just hear $214 million or $300 million and consider it just as a figure, let us refuse the temptation to treat this matter as an abstract number. $214 million, that is from the beginning of the year to September, not the full one. It could have built 12 fully equipped Agenda 111 district hospitals, which the MPP started and which this administration has refused to continue so far. It could have built 30 modest hospitals or 40 to 60,000 boreholes in many villages across this country, providing clean, safe water to villages, schools, clinics, and farming communities. $214 million could have employed many teachers and nurses who are struggling to catch the eye of the government to pay or to issue the necessary financial clearance so that they could be recruited and paid. So when the government tells you that they have lost $214 million, it's not just a number. It's jobs, it's roads, it's people's lives that they have lost. But that is not the full story. Again, if you will remember, when the Gold Board Act was being passed, we spoke extensively about the need for traceability so that Ghana's money will not be used to fund the purchase of Galamsey gold. Now, while the financial tragedy unfolds, another crisis is deepening. Illegal mining is continuing at unprecedented levels. You are observing on your television sets the destruction still of our forests and water bodies. Yet, we are told that the purchase that is going on is not a purchase of Galamsey gold. If you check the data, the export numbers by the large-scale exporters hasn't changed much. And today, there are no other exporters in town except the gold board. So who is buying the Galamsey gold? It's a question out there that as we go along, we will begin to point direct answers to. What is even more worrying is that in the face of this devastation, what we are seeing are statements being issued from the Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana trying to obfuscate. They rely on some words in the original IMF draft to suggest that this is speculative or that this is a significant downside risk. We must be clear. A loss of $214 million has already been made. It will be about $300 million at the end of the year. And the people of Ghana cannot be taken for fools by some long-winded statements seeking to parry this tragedy away. Colleagues, the truth about this government is that they have not introduced any superior economic ideas to governance. All that they've been doing is rebranding, renaming all things that have been done, and sometimes even hiding the details until we, in the minority, call it out for the Ghanaian public to see. Now, today, they are relying on this rebranding, but rebranding without the requisite competence and the requisite attention to the structural issues will be disastrous in the end. And so we ask, so when the IMF is no longer here by the middle of 2026, and they have finished rebranding the ideas that they inherited, which new ideas will they be introducing? Which old ideas will they now be left with to copy? And who will be shepherding them? The previous administration in January 2025 handed over to them an economy that was far larger, far stronger, far less burdened by debt servicing than what they handed to us in January 2027. Their singular instinct has been to capitalize on the architecture that was innovated by the NPP. Gold for reserves, gold for oil, gold for forex are examples. And now, even that one, they are running into massive losses that you, the taxpayer, will have to pay at the end of the day. What have they contributed? Nothing. Just rebranding. They simply took the PMMC and the work that MIF was doing and decided to restructure it under the Gold Board and quickly pass a bill to grant it sweeping powers over all small-scale gold, plus 20% of all other produced gold by large-scale miners. Sadly, without the technical competence required to operate this complex structure that they wanted to do, we are saddled with $214 million debt, now moving towards 300. And it doesn't matter whether they tell you it's not Gold Board loss, it's Bank of Ghana loss, or it's Bank of Ghana loss, it's not Gold Board. At the end of the day, the Ghanaian taxpayer is the one who has to pay.
All right, so Kojo Obonkrumani in Kano, that was a press briefing in regards to Gold Board loss, $214 million issue. So they are calling for bipartisan approach to make sure they can investigate the matter to the latter. Intiano Hunsem, NET, Yanko Nyanko Penkrato, Yaba, na Yatoy Bedin. So 9:01.
This is the kind of good news I should be getting on a daily basis. Thanks to UnityLink, my life has become so much easier. I have on my phone in my palm right now the brand new UnityLink mobile app. It's free and easy to use. And I must say, it's fast, safe, and secure. UnityLink has the best exchange rates. Sending money to anybody is as easy as going through my phone book, selecting the person's name, bam, it's gone. It's really a great feeling when you know you can send money instantly to MTN, Vodafone, Airtel Tigo. Easy. Now I can even transfer money from my mobile phone into my bank account and pick it up at the bank instantly. I can even send airtime to loved ones. The UnityLink mobile app makes it possible for you to send money to over 3,000 locations in Ghana. Now it's time for you to download the free UnityLink mobile app. On Android, go to Google Play Store. On iOS, go to Apple Store and get sending now. UnityLink mobile app. Money go, money come. fast.
Mema wapa baba Rehoboth Havens. Biaya ema wakwenya ma wone wabusua nya asetenapa. Esaya dan papa ne bo sha ase free $55,000 per. Rehoboth Havens adan ya nwene ne yie esi ayi mensa damfa. Enya biaya ya tena keke. Eya biaya ema wa hotoso ne bambo. Fano se wote mantemu a ahobambo shonko. Eni je biaye ne asumdwe a eyema wabusua wo ho. Ghana fododo na ewa manone eni da so so mbetumi atofie wo Ghana eya kechiri esanya so di pie de omosonti na no kwasem ne se edise Ghana ni bia tumi ye fiura bebi a woni wabusua benya hotoso na asan ye japade amechiri ma sane ebeye obibia benya kwenya aye fiurenti Rehoboth ne Ghana sikankrabia hodo aye hyehye sonko a ema wotofie na watua ne nkakra ne ehia ne se wode $5,000 beto ase na eno ma wakwenya ma utumi tu kotenemu na ne aka no watua ne nkakra woma wonfie du baako a wodi betua woka se ne ebeye a ahokyere bia mmemu ye wo 2 3 4 bedrooms a ya hyede siesie no se ema wa hotoso bambo enne asetenapa mentwentwan wona ase kra bo wodache ho ban ne fraying wo +447 917 376 631 Ana +233 24 476 4499 Ebiem +233 55 375 1933 Rehoboth Social Housing Yama weni da so se obeye fiura bemu
AJN and Co Limited. Wow, quality accounting and tax services, and now officially recognized as one of the top 200 UK accountants in the 2016 Sunday Times list. Hooray! Come, let's do business and even save you more money. AJN and Co Limited. We are chartered certified accountants and business advisors. One of the finest in the country with quality professional services and excellent customer delivery. Our services include preparation of company and annual accounts, bookkeeping, self-assessment, payroll services, preparation of charity accounts, gift aid claim, tax planning, tax returns, business plans and advice, company registration, preparation of budgets, all kinds of mortgages and remortgaging. And now we are one-stop shop to arrange protection for general insurance, life cover, medical and health insurance, and income protection. We mean business. That is why we are now officially one of the top 200 accountants in the country. Papa Yamaya Budinya Echese Yaduma Soeni, Entibra, Nenya o tax returns, and Waduma Husikasem Yina amount. Na Yababua Amonia mortgage, Naya insurance in Shishaya Efatawo, Wajuma and Wabusuenina. So big companies, small businesses, charities, sole traders, self-employed, shops and restaurants. Please call Let's Do Business on 0163 447 0495. That's 0163 447 0495 or 0788 307 7742. Our address is AJN and Co Limited, Equitable House, 10 Woolwich New Road, London, SE18 6AB. Visit www.ajnandco.co.uk. Now officially a Sunday Times Top 200 accounting company.
The news, the interviews, and what have you. All packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. Hot Digital Online.
Can pay a trade made in the son of pay, the daily quad not soon. Yeah, queen him there 12 million son of pay. And some no Donald Trump and some no, and so Eguso Bekaya, a decanka say president of Venezuela, Wama Yakochino Edinaba. na manfo no bebre na ahyase kasa Keir Starmer enso aka nensem the European Union say Maduro president yache no nso no eno nso so hu wonsem Prime Minister says that his country was not involved in the UK. Now share Venezuela krona like I say omono bebre na ni age say yache papa yi eno ensemble na si on the US strike and says its leader has been captured. Maduro, until President no ne ho kafo na won akwachi won eko detain wo Brooklyn Detention Center United States of America. Until US forces capture President Maduro, vantage with Park Shama. Yentie kakra nyanko.
Nicolas Maduro rigged elections. He crushed dissent. His allies looted public resources and his policies left the people impoverished. So among Venezuelans, there is relief. We saw celebrations by the Venezuelan diaspora in the region. But Venezuela's problems do not justify a US military intervention. They do not justify bombing a capital and kidnapping a president and his wife, certainly not without global support or approval. In America's eyes, Maduro was an illegal president, but in international law, he was a head of state. By capturing him, the US has once again ripped apart the rules-based order. They have proven a long-standing theory in geopolitics that might makes you right.
All right, that is the international news this morning we've captured on the various platforms. So to share the president who was captured with his wife, Maduro, who is president of Venezuela. Now, among Kofon were jubilant mood. They said they're happy the man who has been recalcitrant. He has been a tyrant leader who doesn't even want elections to happen. Yeah, the intimidation were beyond. Inti eno yachini nagese nkofu eniaji. So the history wo president China president also did not to be Vladimir Putin. So he's not happy about the current situation where the man was being captured by his with his wife Ayediomuako detention center. Until some no bebre nano and a waso nagese do baby na president Diana Green so my twaba. And I guess why not been so tiso or name who can from Bayanti and no Donald Trump aquacochino and also be issue a dahoa nkofu edihu abobo. I guess AU a home so Eddie reporter ba apart from that so Ghana through the foreign ministry okujato blakwa and so the statement about now beka statement be no Donald Trump can say or no eba be manage Venezuela chrono ni omo oil ni bibia no da hwe chrono until such time obenya a substantive leader I'll no be taking the full presidency affairs. No, no one sem na just Venezuela chrono amount for kwa up and down. I just say omuni say president no yaba chino and no kafo. Na just say nyama no mo ye no money nji enti yetumi eko krubi ya to Obama president na oteso na America ebe yusu the veto powers na president ni be lead delegation. Se monko chi president no mbra itumi basa eno ho nsem na manfo bebe because international law no eni kwan sa se se ukochi president osiso enti yebere na ya bono tofa anope na ya to agbedo so bedi san komo no titu ne enkomo a yekodi bronye nyame adom ya san bei na yebobu nsem ne bebre ho anope di Donald Trump ho nsensem na ti ano eda paso wakwakochi president onusi so na ochese president no kwanya ode ne nkofo faso no enye kwan pa wakwakochi president no omo oil papa na nipa ni bi esusu se oil ninti na Donald Trump yesa na because he won kro bi wo ho a obi cry ye etu president efiso no so no against the rules they be ayeka ho nsem eno de Donald Trump enhwe ho but president ya to Obama no a ɔte so no ɔse ɛnde ɔmo nkɔkye ne mbra because kwan a ɔde ne nkɔɔfo fa so no ɛnyɛ kwan papa ɛno ho nsɛm ɛna amanfo bebree ɛnso ka ho nsɛm nti Donald Trump ɛnɛ deɛ ɔno ɛna ne president a ofi ɛyɛ Venezuela nsɛm no ndɛ ɛno na titiriw ɛda pa so ankɔfo edi ho abobo nti Washington says Maduro will face trial in the United States. Now, Nicolas Maduro has served as president since 2013. And he no one against say since 2013 Obakaya Chavez na also no free mu onu be wi ni no one against so onko. Na Obakaya Panama no more president your friend no Obakaya Panama president eche no me kai pa na onu nso president na osiso edu bebi na edunru bonisem efrafra no your friend Noriega President Noriega me kai pass on meche no na oye Panama president ono so mbeche no saa se odundumbo ne ho nsem ekodem be 18 years ichi no mde ne buy na nche eno free mu na ono CIA for ena na investigated that modus operandi na oye just oye president no otiso no na odi indumbo ne ho nsem enti CIA for no to me pretended to say omo ensusu nipa omo hia that business no until now they were so pretentious but now unim say sa na asem no kono until now gbe ne say we nya nipa nrobone na odi hudwa no we nya nipa oni omo ye sa na omo tete no that crew original stage ma speech a no mo kotam no wo Panama de no kode ko tu fiase wo US of A by 18 years omo gya no obaye ndi by 2 months na papa ni free monti say na baba to Maduro ye president of Venezuela 2013 no be president na ye was 2026 na fancy 2025 2026 it's not just what transfer check na ekrom ne mano ekre say why na adwen say o ma ye nto aba nti eno ye to aba nso a obewiem na just why na adwen say on si form nti ye nim say san nyama we ene ko trigger Donald Trump say or delegating nipa wonkonko chinembra. What is the relevance of this? Because we need to get the propensity of why the president was arrested. Now the allegations level against him, they say he was dealing with yet that drug trafficking. Like so ye nrubone and so juma and you will get the proverbial value of your teach you any the reliability any materiality need the keka ho na identity and a president no and on some and so ho anopenti the explosions hit central Caracas and nearby state in the on some it is not going to be easy once a president of a sovereign country has been arrested by a neighboring country known award the superpowers as a veto country like I said the arrests raises a lot of concerns. I think it is quite intimidating and at the same time it's quite upset. Say President Sisu na wanwa chino. Ndiano hunsem no yentie bibi kakra.
Rocked Caracas and 3 other states, Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaira. It called the U.S. strikes. Military aggression.
Today, more than ever, President Nicolas Maduro is loyal to the Constitution to protect his people. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela rejects, condemns, and denounces before the international community the grave military aggression perpetrated by the current government of the United States of America.
President Nicolas Maduro had declared a national emergency. He called on his allies to mobilize. Across the capital, residents were already awake. Some stood on rooftops, others filmed from balconies. Venezuela's interior minister took to the streets. Diosdado Cabello is one of Maduro's top allies. Flanked by soldiers, he gave a statement. His message was clear: remain calm. He urged the public not to panic and trust the leadership of Maduro.
After evaluating the damages caused by the criminal and terrorist attack against our people, our patriotic ground, electric facilities, the Bolivarian Revolution, and even those who aren't related to the Bolivarian Revolution, It's an attack against Venezuela, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. In the end, after these attacks, we will win. Long live the homeland.
By then, it was already too late. Within hours, President Donald Trump confirmed it. Nicolas Maduro and his wife had been captured. They were taken out of the country. The operation was swift, executed in a matter of hours, but its impact may last far longer, with the potential to reshape the region.
On December 31st, President Donald Trump hosted a New Year's party. His Mar-a-Lago club was all decked up. A host of powerful people turned up to welcome 2026. Of course, Trump was the main event. As he arrived, journalists asked him a simple question. What is your resolution for 2026? Listen to his response.
Mr. President, do you have a New Year's resolution?
I have.
Let's hear it.
Peace on earth.
He said, peace on earth. And it wasn't surprising at all. Trump is the self-proclaimed president of peace. Even in his first term, that was a pitch that Trump would end America's endless wars, that he would stop foreign interventions. This is a leader who openly lobbied to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And when he did not, he complained about it. At his inauguration, the peace pitch was front and center. Trump said it would be his proudest legacy.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
Peacemaker? Look at his actions. Trump has carried out more than 600 airstrikes in 1 year. Look at his predecessor, Joe Biden. 555 strikes across 4 years. Trump has carried out 600 strikes in less than a year, in fact. In total, Donald Trump has attacked 7 countries in his second term. The first strike was on Somalia. The US bombed an alleged ISIS target in February in Somalia. The second attack was on Iraq in the month of March. Again, the target was an ISIS asset. Then from March to May, Trump focused on Yemen. He tried to force the Houthi group to end their attacks in the Red Sea. Most experts agree that this American campaign was a disaster. The US lost multiple fighter jets at sea, and their strikes ended up killing more than 100 civilians. Then came the big attack in June. The US dropped bunker buster bombs on Iran's nuclear sites. They claimed success without offering proof. In December, Trump launched attacks on Syria. These were in response to the killing of some US soldiers. Towards the end of December, he struck Nigeria. Again, the target was alleged ISIS assets. But the attack had a religious undertone to it. Trump had recently spoken about a Christian genocide in Nigeria, a claim that was disputed both by experts and the Nigerian government. And yet, the US launched this attack on Christmas Day, which was a clear religious message. And finally, you have Venezuela. So to sum it up, 7 countries attacked in 11 months of Trump's presidency. What does this say about Donald Trump's tactics? He keeps talking about peace through strength. It's a slogan that was coined by former US President Ronald Reagan. But his idea was different. Reagan believed that if you wanted peace, you must be strong, so strong that your enemies would hesitate to attack you. But Trump's interpretation is different. He sees strength as coercion, not just military, but economic too. Just consider what he did during the Israel-Iran war. Trump dropped tons of bunker buster bombs on Iran. He basically escalated to de-escalate. In that case, Iran was already depleted after 12 days of war, so they agreed to a ceasefire. In Southeast Asia, Trump used economic coercion. He threatened to impose steep tariffs on Thailand and Cambodia. So both countries agreed to end the fighting. Now you may think, what's wrong with that? As long as the fighting ends, isn't that good? Well, that's the thing. Coercive peacemaking does not deliver long-term results. Look at what happened between Thailand and Cambodia. They resumed fighting within weeks. Look at what's happening between Israel and Iran. Israeli leaders are warning Iran of a Venezuela-like attack, a smash and grab on the top leadership. This is not peace. This is a nervous calm. And that's what Donald Trump needs to understand. If you want peace, you must address underlying causes. You cannot bomb or tariff your way to peace.
All right, so the presentation of what's the lady who is also giving the news that will pay, just said Donald Trump via for peace. Now, what he's preaching, it means that he does not want peace, because when you want to control, and as you said, to bring peace now, the trend on them and yet no crack Donald Trump in peace. President to see so share their course with Israel near the now. Or nano to us and escalate, but they just want the situation to be de-escalated. Now Donald Trump nano kotumpe now for intokwanum apija. Where Ukraine war, any Ukraine and Russia wars and semi, in himself no say oba end no cry, and so war a down war. Now Venezuela dear be ubeka Nigeria, and I know so Boko Haram for what you say, omo eku nipani bi titru Christians near the Okai. Airstrikes me near the Koho, Emma, and also so, I just say Donald Trump at Yesim say Nigeria hono, and you may be a cosono engine. It is like Donald Trump no. Ne fire by ne den. What is his ambition and his propensity our person or the fighting for peace? Is it rather encouraging say world war and or the bar now say peace and or the bar? Why has the president of United States of America has that evolution say he will volunteer and delegate his military to go and arrest a president of a sovereign country? It's not just international laws doesn't permit that. It is not an intimidation what the president is doing. We have so many ways that you can use to protect the people of Venezuela and make sure he will pass through the right channel. And I also said the president could be brought to ICC, International Criminal Court, so that his matters will be unveiled and then he could be convicted or something. But to arrest him, no, it go beyond peace. That's what the lady is saying. Indeed, history repeats itself. The U.S. supported coup against their instability. And on one seminar on that, one more thing about Donald Trump. I say Donald Trump defenders had it half right. The U.S. overthrow of Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro isn't an exact copy of the haunted regime change that gutted Iraq government and civil society. Now, the emerging White House strategy instead looks more like a regime decapitation that is evolving onto coercion of Maduro's left behind a lieutenant. The administration is demanding a acquiescence to Trump's dream of obedient, MAGA-fed Western Hemisphere. Now, the focal point of the effort is Venezuela President Delcy Rodrigo. In the interim leader in Caracas saying spectacular U.S. Special Forces Operation sprinted Maduro out of his bed and to New York, where he will appear in court on Monday. Until Trump declared Sunday evening that the U.S. was running Venezuela through its pressure on Rodriguez, now the acting president. Don't ask me who is in charge, because I'll give you an answer, and it will be very controversial. He also told reporters that it means that we are in charge. We are in charge. And like I said, an interim president has been slated. Now, the spectacle of an American president claiming to be in charge of a sovereign nation around 1,000 miles from the U.S. mainland, even it is not strictly true, show just how fundamentally Trump has also hardened the country's posture to the rest of the world and reveal his ambition to wield expensive power. And Trump apparently feels emboldened by the Venezuelan raid, telling reporters Sunday that Colombia is very sick and that Mexico had to get their act together. Trump is thinking about all these countries and see whether there's an affirmative action that should be taken. They will be taking introspection to look at all this and see, say, what is happening. No, people's lives are being trampled upon, or their president are not doing something right. Donald Trump thinks he is the best person to make sure you unravel the mystery behind all these countries where he thinks that the people are being molested by their presidents, where things are not being done properly. So he will be the right person to take them off. Now let's listen one more time before we get back into business.
Before Venezuela's president Nicolas Maduro was captured today, something unusual had been unfolding around his country. For months, America was encircling Venezuela. Slowly, methodically, and piece by piece. It started at sea. American warships began appearing on the horizon. Destroyers, cruisers, amphibious assault ships, each one loaded with troops, each one carrying heavy military equipment. One by one, they took up positions in the Caribbean. Then Washington raised the stakes. Into these waters came the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford. It is the largest warship in the world. It houses thousands of troops on board and dozens of fighter jets that are ready for combat. The buildup was not limited to the sea. On land, old bases were reactivated. In Puerto Rico, the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base was brought back into use. It had been silent for years. Now it was alive again. Runways were repaired. Taxiways were cleared, and temporary air traffic control towers were installed. Soon the skies filled with cargo planes. Massive C-17s came thundering in from U.S. bases. Their bellies were full of equipment, supplies, and personnel. Even civilian airports were transformed. Reaper drones appeared on the ground. Electronic warfare aircraft followed, and so did long-range surveillance planes. In the air, activity increased steadily. U.S. spy aircraft flew repeated missions across the Caribbean. Maritime patrol planes tracked shipping routes, and long-range bombers flew close to Venezuelan airspace, officially described as training flights. Then the operation turned deadly. From September onwards, American forces began striking boats. These were boats accused of drug trafficking. Drones hunted them down, gunships finished them off, and missiles streaked across the water. At least 35 such strikes have been carried out, and more than 100 people have been killed. Oil tankers linked to Venezuela have also been seized. Washington later also announced a blockade on sanctioned vessels. All of this has followed a deliberate shift in American strategy. President Trump's latest national security strategy has redrawn the map. The Western Hemisphere is now priority number one. It is America's backyard. Migration has been elevated to a national security threat. So have drugs and transnational crime. The doctrine is clear. America will secure the neighborhood. It will use force if necessary. Hence, the ships have been positioned, the aircraft have been deployed, the bases have been activated, and the strikes have been carried out. So, every piece was already in position before today's operation, before the attack in Caracas. What the world witnessed today was simply the final act. The military buildup had already written the eventual ending.
That's all we have for you on this special edition of Donald Trump has pulled the trigger. After months of build-up, after months of isolated airstrikes, the U.S. president has toppled Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. The U.S. military captured Maduro and his wife today. They were picked up from Caracas, which is the capital of Venezuela. They will now stand trial in the United States of America. It's an attack that has sent shockwaves across Latin America. A swift but intense attack, sort of like a smash and grab. First, let's look at how the day unfolded. Explosions were heard at around 2 a.m. in Caracas. Soon, plumes of smoke began rising. Two main targets were hit in the Venezuelan capital. One was La Carlota, which is an airfield. The other was Fuerte Tiuna, which is the city's main military base. Take a look at this.
Amor. Ay, no. Mira eso.
All right, 33 minutes past 9 o'clock. The bone of contention has been raveled and unraveled by Donald Trump. Like I said, Nina, Donald Trump and Sensem. And Tuba Kaya, President Anna, President Fufro Ewo Mind Solo, 1,000 miles from the US of A mainland. Echo Venezuela, Echo Chi, President Maduro and his wife. The president became the president of Venezuela since 2013. Now, report we are gathering is he's doing drug trafficking and also making sure that you will not allow any elections to continue. When elections comes in the way, you will make sure you rig the elections. In that Donald Trump have the right to get into somebody's territory to arrest the person when the country is served as a sovereign country. Featuring Nigeria. 35 minutes past 9 o'clock and 20. With more seizure and Venezuela leader Maduro, Donald Trump has demonstrated more powerfully than ever his belief in the power of his will, backed by the raw U.S. military force. On his orders, the U.S. has Maduro behind bars and now will run Venezuela. So the country US of A, the president want to run Venezuela. Now, under normal circumstances, the US president made announcement that in a remarkable news conference with enormous implication for US foreign policy worldwide at his Florida club and residence, Mar-a-Lago. The Trump said U.S. would be in charge in Venezuela until such time as we can do a safe, proper, judicious transition. Now, the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said he had spoken to the Venezuelan Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, who he told him, well, we will do whatever you need. And she, I think, was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. Trump was light on detail, and he said, "We are not afraid of boats on the ground, and we have to have them." And the vice president will act as interim president. That is Delcy Rodriguez. Oyoba, now she has no choice than to accept from the ministry, HSA or no, and act as president. Then the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, FN Kachin said, "You have no choice, but you have to do this until such time they will get a substantive prime minister or a transition, a proper transition." Now people are saying, say, it is calling for a war where Donald Trump has done something quite strange, that a country of a sovereign country, President Teso, now wako pamno and also wako chino, edina bawakachi, say, and nedui Donald Trump, President Maduro, who is under detention, Ebeko Court. We have a lot of issues, sir. So like I said, charges said they're born no. Bibrinano, he will go and answer. Onen who kafu, and now omucho munti beauty sweetie. Share life and pay on the social media platforms this morning. Once again, we welcome all of you back in action. Like I said, Monday, I share the Medina City. Enche bedin komo yedin komo ache bronye nyame edien kwa ache yasan ba. So we thank all of you this morning for being part of the show. Nana enso joining live and pay and also the don't this year Venezuelans and semino akoye bubuja that is a president to be it to me chief president to be if you remember mo and no international laws no. What does it say? What are the clarity and the interpretation? Is it quite prejudicial for Donald Trump to go into that tangent? And I say non-prejudicial. What are the circumstances surrounding why a president of a sovereign country could be arrested by a country's president? And it's something that it borders on some interpretations. We just want to know the international laws. Now you read a portion of the international laws. Why a country of a sovereign, now a president of a different country, 1,000 miles, will also enforce a security agencies in his country to go and arrest that president for making sure, sir, he's dealing with drug trafficking. He's been alleged to have dealt with drug trafficking. So that is why he was being picked up. At the same time, the inhabitants of the country have severally complained about the president's recalcitrancy. Like I said, Subain a president need done it, you know, it needs something new to be done. So you think this is the right way Donald Trump should go. And pay Unity Link Financial Services Limited happen to be our proud sponsor about the mobile money to all major networks in Ghana, cash pickup to 18 banks and all rural banks in Ghana, airtime top up, and no Unity Link Financial Services Limited, and pay and so ebo chidom, rate no and so dance no. But answer with me download apps no. Now on Unity Link Financial Services Limited, edim shibom bronye omunso any edin ye papa. E don't want see. And pay you swing count the Heavens Mortgage Payment Plan. Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. A danya a Rehoboth for and so a dabe danyen say a ye titru for inuanuma your Diaspora. Ya your manone. Be an opeso kusi dine unyamre in si dino. Enti we you twa 2 bedrooms no and no so beboa. Nhihye wo ho a obetumi aye tuatua ne kakra for 11 years. Na just $55,000 eno for 11 years obetua. Na obema deposit $5,000. Na banka eno be nhihye no bank no Eco Bank or Ghana. Nti djuma wo ye no ombe ye nhihye ni na nya ho nkrata. Na every month no ombetua $50,000 ne ma and every month no wetua $553. Na just what their bank no. Na ɛno nhyehyɛ no sɛ 3-bedroom detached ɛno ɛwɔ Sand Bay homes all rooms and suites ɛno nso $100,000 na deposit yɛ $10,000 na bank ne tua $90,000 no ama wo na wo no every month nhyehyɛ a ɛda hɔ ne sɛ wobɛtua sika ama bank no $1,152.40 na nhyehyɛ no sɛ wopɛ sɛ wotɔ dan no bia na wogye dan no bia proof of ID passport any Ghana card and ombehia and 2 a employment contract residency or work permit and also say recent passport picture 3 most recent pay slips and 1 year bank statement minimum of 1 year in full time and permanent employment ndini na no a renewable social housing for and she share omudiamaye na ubetumi afromo omo branch ewo Milton Keynes ewo +44 791 737 6631 +44 791 737 6631 and a +233 244 764499 +233 244 764499 Renewable Social Housing and pay and so ebo chidom AJN and Co Limited, chartered accountant business advisors, specialists in preparation annual account bookkeeping self-assessment, especially for Uber drivers. And we are AJN and Co Limited and pay and so ebo chidom. Enti bombodi answer with me a form no mahwe na titu no ebi na your company registration, mortgages and remortgages ometumi di ho akotene ebi nso ana wo refund bi HMR na unsanka ya bombodi answer be for AJN and Co Limited on 016344 70495 01634470495 and 07883077742 and a payment will say Fradalit Union Francis Finsbury Park na ebano passport hun sensem airline ticket Union Francis Finsbury Park Fradalit visa travel and tours na obetumi aboa mo nya passport ni meni mehiya no so hia visa and say passport for na say airline ticket obetumi afishi bia mount tentem na wenye bi e de akoma Ghana fresh 0207 6193843 0207 6193843 079 39656111 tiano ye Fatherly Visa Travel and Tours menka also said Daughters Limited and so jumeko a omo juma mo high van nti upese high van any your rentals bia now so say we removals house removing store pickups man and van hire express delivery which me have Daughters Limited omo chira kwan Croydon from it was 07460 595471 07460595471 into your daughters at gmail.com and pay and so ebo chidom when Kai also say the Duchess Kitchen pub omo bieno on the 30th year tree like I say duane fie e wo my Ghana omo wo wager Accra ho enom omo bie ema nkofo Germany papa na just a grand opening no eba so the 30th of December 2025 from 12 p.m. amam for ordain duane na omo say dani de nyina no omo toa so enti eat drink and enjoy from 053 701 3487 and 053 8638 091 enti no the Duchess Kitchen pub eno omo bia no kama e wo my Ghana send wave money transfers yenka will say one moment you know na apps be enye juma enti bombodi answer uni send wave bedi shibom na wa download apps no it is send wave money transfer say o download apps na no abo promo code hot digital na amount £10 credit na guess you are good to go na no when your credit £10 be as a first timer na unso there ahwe how far and payment can say J Handyman about carpentry works, door fixing and hanging, fixing of kitchen wardrobes and wooden floors. And here E&J Handyman on 074324 02117 074324 02117. Now, a shred international laws are a public international law and the law of nation. It is set to the rules, norms, and legal customs standard that states and actors feel on an obligation and generally do obey in their mutual relations, international relations, actors, and simply the individuals or collective entities, such as state, international organizations, and non-state groups, which can make behavioral choices, whether law or unlawful, rules, formal, typical, written, expectation that outline required behavior, while norms are informal. Now, often unwritten guidelines about appropriate behavior that are shaped by custom and social practice. It establishes norms for states across a broad range of domains, including war and diplomacy, economic relations, and human rights. So that's where we talk about international law. Now, it also differs from the state-based domestic legal systems in that it operates largely through consent, since there's no universally accepted authority to enforce it upon sovereign state. And when we talk about international laws, you have it practices, you have it norm, you have the natural way of dealing with the nation. Now, when somebody want to intercede and also make sure, say, a country like Venezuela, when the president has violated some constitutional provisions by making sure that he's becoming a tyrant leader, the laws that it talk about, the public international laws, has its obligations. Now, the difference is that the state-based domestic legal system, in that it operates largely through the consents, since there's no universally accepted authority to enforce it upon sovereign state. So it is beyond the reach where a country of a sovereignty could be interceded by a country where they also have their domain. Domain. That is why we talk about separation of powers. And internationally, the issue on Donald Trump has become an issue that we need to think about it. It is something that it means that any president at all that flouts the rules or try to molest his people, do something untoward that is against the international rules, and which it does not permit, and also give the guarantee of that particular country, like America, to come and effect the arrest of the president. It also brings something like a constitutional crisis, where international law says that it differs on the domestic legal system. Now, the sources of international laws include international custom, general state practice accepted as laws, treaties, and general principles of laws organized by most national systems. And although international laws may also be reflected in international community, now the issue for this practice states to maintain good relation and mutual recognition. Such traditions are not legally binding, since good relations are more important to maintain with more powerful states than they can influence others more on the matter of what is legal and that's what is not. So we talk about legality and illegality. So something that has been done to a country of a sovereignty that they have enjoyed, means that the president has done something quite outrageous, trying to molest his people, make sure, say, he does not violate the constitutional provisions that brought him into power. He wants to change some certain systems, which it does not allow the president to do so, because he was given the mandate through the ballot box when he was given that position. Now, when you gain this currency, now you become the president. The authorities is that the powers have been vested into you, and you are going to work through the regulations and the principles that has been given to you and the constitutionally binded provisions. You are going to work on that one. You don't have to go beyond certain remit and make sure, say, you are going to introduce your laws, because the power was given to you through the constitution that is sitting there. The constitution has the principles. It goes one through the latter until you work through the constitution. If there's any amendment, you talk about it, you judge it, you do certain collective ventures, or you brainstorm. Now you put things in order. The president, you work through the process. And I think that is where Maduri has been faulted. He was doing something, he was doing drug trafficking, he was doing so many things. That is an allegation. Today you appear before the court, so we will know the nitty-gritty of why the president should be arrested and why the arrest should be effected. Now, when you look into the international laws, it talks mostly, more importantly, it talks about the issue on the principles, the guidance, the domestic legal systems, and then it has something like a preemptory norms. They have the treaty, you have everything. Does it warrant Donald Trump to effect arrest of a president who is superintending a sovereign country? That is what it has become a bone of contention. That's why people are getting worried. The community have issued statement. Ghana have issued statement. Now the AU has also issued statement. Other countries that are not in conformity with what the President Donald Trump has done are also begrudging the interpretation and what he's doing. They think that it is beyond reach. We are also going to analyze the issue and see why this issue should come up. Say a president of a country has been arrested. Now they have a lot more to talk about. Donald Trump has done something that has never happened in our history and our lifetime. We have never experienced such a year, something like a chaotic situation. We have not heard of it before. Donald Trump has done it. Wakwachi president or tell him or tinu nikrusu or bumai wachino. The president will face the full rigors of the law. They are going to investigate him. The allegations level against him, it is not going to be prejudicial, but they will make sure you go through the channel. They will have the materiality and also the proverbial value. They talk about the relevancy. They talk about the issue on just say enyama bibria omo ede bopape. They will make sure say bibia edano kwanso. Na interim president ebeye the vice president Delcy Rodriguez and obeyenti the council impanyinfo enso so ebi edioma no ato asemi mu na asem no emu envrem enti ne papa ye ne kugina court na ekoti ne num asem yanko ne enti enyumi enche be kola ne so edi nkomo ache emamu na afishapa. check is 56 minutes past 9. Louisa Anna. I'm in church, Minia Kwame, Ewo, Osborne Pharmacy, all the way in Stratford. The shopping center, and Kwame Church, and all the friends, the loved ones. Hoping you're doing great this morning. Happy New Year to all of you. John Ofuribodi, I say Happy New Year, my bro. Hope you're doing great this morning. I'm happy to hear your voice this morning, watching you live on the social media platform. Martha has also joined us this morning. Ogromash is so share live and pay. Zimbo and so share live and pay. Close to all of you watching us live this morning. Let me also send my greetings to Clement of Jasmadev Kitchen Restaurant and Bar, all the way in Enfield, and to your wife, Gifty Godson, who I'm here to play her song right about now. Ajingo is doing great this morning. Ajingo is here. Ajingo is here near Dinkomo. Nana Sewa Bra also share live and pay, and all of you watching us live this morning. We hope you're doing great this morning. You have a beautiful Christmas. We once again appreciate all of you once again back in action.
The news, the interviews, and what have you. All packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. Hot Digital Online.
Jesus is coming very soon.
Patricia, who you mean Chicha and pay Patricia Atta, also I join your life and pay.
Messiah is coming very soon. Oh, coming very soon.
So under the international laws, the modern term international law was originally coined by Jeremy Bentham in a 1789 book introduced of the principles of morals and legislation to replace the older law of nations. A direct translation of the late medieval concept Os Gentum used by the Hugo Grotius. And the international laws does not permit Donald Trump to do what he did, but he has used his veto power to arrest a president of a sovereign country. There is a distinction between the public and the private international law that is concerned with whether the national court can claim jurisdiction over cases with a foreign element, and also the application of foreign judgment in domestic laws, whereas public international laws covers rules with an international origin. And the difference between the two areas of law has been debated on scholars as degree about the nature of relationship. Joseph Story, who originated the term private international law, emphasized that it must be governed by principles of public international law, and other academics view as the separate bodies of laws. Another term, transitional law, is sometimes used to refer a body of both national and international rules that transcend the nation state. And although some academics emphasize that it is a distinction from either type of law, it was also defined by Philip Jessop as all law which also regulate actions and events that also transcend in the frontiers. And it gives a lot of elaborations about how international law could be accepted and also be translated. And when Donald Trump does something like this, it's quite strange, because a more recent concept of the supernatural law, which was also described in 1969 paper, a relatively new word in the vocabulary of politics. System of supernatural law arises when nations explicitly cede their right to make decisions to the system where judicial and legislature which have the right to make laws. International laws has a lot of embodiment. When Donald Trump has took this stand to make sure somebody who is also governing his country making sure say onusu ebunimai could be arrested through this infringement of somebody's right. Inti, why the president was arrested? No, is it going to be an infringement of right? We just want to know. This morning we have a lot more to talk about. Inti, and we'll go straight to the lines and pick your calls about now. Inti napos pay and the social media platforms. For those watching us live on social media platforms, once again, more grease to your elbow. And I'll pay YouTube and also TikTok and Facebook and Hot Digital Online. We have 4 motions out to me in Yayan, Etienne, we were sharing live, Nina, on the pay, Yabamuna Achi, the Sansu Mama Fishapa, once again. Let's move on. Now, young queen in 20 minutes, son of pay. Hello.
Mr. Valentine, I never seen him. Ghana for Mobi Ara Fishapa.
Yo, Nana, you want to pay. John, where?
Oh, I mean, Hoyapa, Happy New Year.
Okay.
Ubenya Kofi Francis and Co. no more be defending say Abrofo Nyashi. You see, there's one case when so say we are seeing junior. So what they say, the problem in say America debt is now $35 trillion. Venezuela oil also is now $24 trillion. And Venezuela a kiki America company everywhere for Chinese company. And America air struggle because the whole world, you know, majority of the countries they decided say omonji American dollar because dollar na man aya hantain. Into omo deche American dollar and you know all struggle. Empire be the tough for the same kind we are on Namso. May attack we be so many ganget ya na wash from 2. Into the year, oh yeah, no coffee, or banning yet, on ye meduro in yashi. Also on Jamaica dollar biom. Enuntina, Akakobanasa, and a month for Biza said Russia and China. I don't know when defend it or for your information, Venezuela any military pact with the Russia and China to defend them. Arms for woman chain, arms for normal tall woman chain. Will be to say Burkina Faso, any Cuba, almost military pact, a woman chain, to me military base. Aqua Burkina Faso, now Russia, also a station, nuclear submarine, Cuba. Until Venezuela, Becca sign military pact as woman protect your mono. To me, because to me, so you become family trade base and call Abra one and inside. Until Mamma, a man for the disappointed. We are seeing junior Western word if we can't coffee Francis, I be defend on Park Okrum. On Park Okrum, they be a son on Becca. We are seeing junior Siamuna when so. I feel young Koyo Krum. Yes, sir. NDC are buying. President John Dramani Mama, agenda 111 amount, who buy on touchy, and hospitals are packed. A sad, so be babeshe Japadia said the more minor, Oba, SSL to us. Was spending $10 billion at the stabilize Ghana city. That 10 billion, I don't know from restore factories are what do I and come jai and then produce near mamma and for dollar corner open and for Emma woman ya bucka 214 million US dollars. Within 9 months, a mobile penny a boss, can just a moody affair, not just every year be a mobile boy and car. Amembona mubono enkoye inti yebese pese mama ye niama ye na face or kasa onhwe nanu ye say uni military pact with the Russia and China na ukase ti America. Be careful. Okay. Unless say what's a military pact no ansa na betu maka na hope.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. President.
Morning. Enu abeni. Yo, mami enti wana pe chon we.
I'm happy New Year. So you're still down at 49. I was saying 4 Papa radio using now.
Okay.
Then I started as if you flow. I know first time I was at work. Maybe I put you on the day back. Radio is in the pay. They say in Chrono, organic. Chrome had it. Young saying in a hand which you know into what Beba radio is so. No, I was so with the tantrum. Mr. Valentine, all new may argument. Yeah, they say I fear yet to move. If we have to create near so into Senyamia, I don't know to tell where you Mr. Valentine or Premish Glove, so some insane I easy. Never pay a crank a cran and you jar and all that's not way to issue. na why who ni pa so why what so be frustrating na enye adwuma say your bomb player target adwuma or the Ghana nsem e de ba e ma ye tie bi na Mr. Valentine ye kodi project ni na echi eja ye president de ni message be tuja ese Ghana ye nyina ye ba so na enye MPP na NDC na bia be de bo keka ni nsem ni na agu ho ye president wa anhwe ye antie ni nsem ya Obek and Crawford Solia no more Bonabaso, or any papa, or a quiet, or a given. And so, what nonsense I want to say now, Junior one, you know, many people are in Cisco. Send me to say a president to say, also Obama, yet now, or by settle Ghana. Now, Crawford for you or Medina, or with the open Burkina Faso, and also move to Club Sona. I bet now, man. Oman Diaspora attacking one opportunity na say so aye frustrated na omo to oman ni mu no omo de omo ka oman no ma fofo bi ne de omo pegu oman ni ne ye ka bi mu so no ye ko fu ni ye bodu ya sami demfi na no kati o so man penyimfo nya so wo Ghana ho no pia na da part na da die na me ka se o katachie be ye bi Obestati say you almost a go for the Ayametia. Ye see a press a vice president, you the Dubai. I almost almost be a Yanajuma, no matter change it, no matter after no banks open in ye. There's a sponsor a new far into something like or what plan the program so. Questionnaire to Butano. Take a you was in Crofona or Mother Cup a uniform go board or Mamma or Lances. Yes, almost have the tree, you know. I do that is a 2016 year, Satam to next, for the President Mahama, and almost say that, you know, and to something like a can and yes, I want to say, and to me, I must have a question. Emma, submit and feedback now, hope I am a new book of the all kind of correct. I am a poor, you can't upon a debate to you. When would the old man at the two gentle truly be a binono? Okay. And Mr. Valentine, what you had the Yatum Bessia. I made the make cultural man to say, oh, be out sweet. Now we put Yamia to Yamia to the coin. The Mary Hassan is shot in 2 Medina radio so far, the woman, the watch. Now they have come what them now for baby. And met Mr. Valentine. Question I know about an own theatre and what church room. That's it. Valentine, I mean, no, Yajma. Metia Mount Radio is singing. I said, there be a dick Becano. My first lady before Metia will be any a baby. I mean, how now, so that's it. What's up in you, Uncle?
Well, good morning.
Morning, Aqua.
Happy New Year.
Yo, yeah, that's
it.
Who be on here, pa?
Good. Emobia Fishapo, see a bum. And we have a pass, we have a body a fee, mono, a more volume and you when I the Euro from Ciano, you have a con Mugaba, Ghana Yeti, and why I did, and let me say, Mamma, now buy and that's why I see a threat to start to form. But back up not coming. Not that I'm talking about your person of Dickens, Mammy at the phone, and then Mammy as a bedroom. Nana, and the Shamina, my married and Wakina, Shamina. It's a Italian man, it's all about it. Wow, the sea was said, Ghana for so out of
Osi de si Venezuela.
This the Trump here said get a boss akasa
yeah, I want condemn.
Yeah. If you are seeing any power, we shall woman. Woman akasa so ena oba usa woman, oba usa Asia woman.
Okay.
Well, and so body bi onye so body bi o ene enso mrabi da so mrabi na edipa oto wodo mu a usokura no amese uso wo bi sem the African ni countries omo akondem nyina no eje omo kondem Emrana anya jumento mo kondemana. Ne say ne so ye dim na ye ewe kurom. So say the secretary no. Sa na bo hati o. Omo mo kondem nyina ne ehun ko a obo fi say anhwe ya say do ba fi say. Wo ko to say abo bi si wunua so aka che say so ye so enka say so no so. O mo say o bebre so enkura so bai. And only to mamu. Eti di abey omo mo condemn no about 90% almost in this buy. Omo family nya djuma wo krom. Na mo krom keke kra na mo family nya djuma. Na mo pese the whole world and mo pese emra djuma. Mo nya eje du mo so na ebe du mo so. Eti ga ewiase no mo manya hu se ye beto de be jawako. Ye fa hwe ama ye fa hwe ye de enko de biara da. Wow.
Yeah.
Oma penny afi na oma State of the Nation address no. Na afi and I was saying accompany na che Ghana for nim say na economy ni nye. Bibia na wo Ghana bia na ansala mo ba no. Ghana for nim. Enti nya afi na obeba State of the Nation address so obeka say o Christmas time no. Nya afi na obeba man Ghana for be na economy ni nye. Na economy da form. Mo bebu ma no mo oba no. Muomano, Rollins and Ban was saying, Janetta was saying, said ye to me, and for a man in Quanimugranoa, you maintain the city better no. Eddie, Baba say, oh, and our money, a coso, and we are doing it, and I know, hey, more fighting, losing battle. I said, I didn't want to be yet. Wow, Micha, you may run him on Macania, Penima, with your children.
And I say, I quite David Hello.
Man.
Yeah, Kofi Francis.
The
morning, that's saying.
Room 26. Now, kudos to Donald Trump. Look, when you oppress people, we a dictator. Now, this guy lost the election. Nicolas Maduro lose election a couple of years ago. We know one farmer. Last election is a woman no best standing. Man standing. Only for the prison because they are against him. Or your oppressor.
Okay.
Can't impose a leader. Look, when the people are tired, Venezuela, rich country like Venezuela, and almost like Eco America, look, the people who can say. American did it without the Venezuela citizens. The citizens also knew about that. The thing was pre-planned from September.
Okay.
And then your first time America, yes, I didn't know. Okay, Manuel Noriega.
Yeah, Panama, yeah.
On the 3rd January, 3rd January, kidnapped America. Look, African leaders know Tobago because if you live in a glass house, don't throw stone because they are not playing. They are assessed to be out to prison from over 3 months in here. For what? Bill, 100 million. Is that democracy? What are we talking about? We should have open playing field. Ghanaians should be treated equally. President, State of New Year resolution. Bonkers. We are all Ghanaians. If you know we are all Ghanaians, you shouldn't have sacked those boys from job and all that. We should be treated. Look, when you have power, now who is a power drunker. That's what happened. Okay. So this Nicolas President
Maduro.
Venezuela leader.
Nicolas Maduro.
What they say, Chrono? What say Venezuela? Venezuela is a rich country, and America. So, bulk of the people, they come to America. Correct him.
Okay.
Anybody who disagree with Donald Trump, they can go to her. He has done it because he can't. Russia is not bearing the cost of the suffering of Venezuela citizens.
Like culture of silence.
Is bearing it. So kudos to Venezuela, Donald Trump.
All right.
That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Francis Hello.
Do.
Yeah, Kwame, that's saying.
Lanko Pado. Happy New Year, Unia.
Yeah, that's pa. Okay.
Yechia Hot Management in Sinina from Van Dyke down the leash.
Okay.
The Bomuna Basso, I fear it came Juma Money D. Yasaiba, Yan Kasai communicators. So, Monsieur Bomwa Bassi pa Titro, your silent listeners more, and Brentin to me Mugotin. But Yenianoma, Yenio Mutijmai, led by Yeniaba via almost here. A wheel no, my yitine achieve near Pessi achieve 2025 in a Bomuna Basso.
Okay.
And to our critics, people like Francis and Co. and the likes, also in a Boma Basso, sometimes you disagree with us. A boy and Shipuyan, my yitine, your submission, no, it may echo year. 2026, we want to open a new chapter, teacher power communication. But on one condition, people like Mustafa Bandi, they won't provoke us. That in our rebuttals to Omonseno, Ebekwakoye, Bimose, Kwame, the time of communication assistant. We want to do clean politics. Now you put the government on its toes.
Okay.
We know say only policy direction. Now emergency bebaho. My mention seem free Venezuela near SUO with the US invasion. Now maybe I believe in one thing, it's all geopolitics. Donald Trump tries now, first of all, when it comes to superpowers, we more. More interest enough to them, no, is supersede a year of Venezuela and Kufobi account.
The international law.
The US, exactly, the interest say, it was a top country beer. It doesn't matter. So with China, so with a year of Venezuela, Putin. Osha China, as I say, or no, why already say. Friends, what's the country? The country, why not very, very soon obeying the Taiwan. And it's all about geopolitics. Okay. And you and friends saying, Donald Trump is trying to send a crystal clear warning. Say, when it comes to superpower, he is not ready to negotiate with any country. And a clear warning to China and its allies. It is Osha. And you are actually more cassetia, China, Russia ally. And more cassetia. Naniareho, and it's a country be like a Ghana. Na Okuja to issue statement. So business statement no. Oh, expect to say US anything. After issue of that statement. No, for in my crowd, me believe we say and can go forward. There were a time, once a time, upon a time, they told us, do you fear them?
Well, yeah. And the Prof Mills.
I said, on a prof now, he was, leading NDC.
Okay.
I said, do you fear them?
The statement put across by Okujatono.
He is actually condemning U.S. action.
Okay.
Now, who are you to actually, there, and I said,
He says that the capture was inhumane to the president. There are so many ways of which you might have. I'd rather say you go and arrest him.
Now, once the UN is actually accusing what is his name? Mandura president. Maduro, yes. Say, or authorizing in coup for
drug trafficking.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, drug trafficking.
Doesn't want elections to happen.
Exactly. Before that invasion, we said there were several warnings. Warning said the Ebony. Now, some medical can bring out the umbrella of the whole thing. They say, friends, the USA, they say, or to me, we are seeing your person. Meno Casas is a friends, say Greenland. Almost so, also.
Okay.
Because one more warning. Now, Yamra, you see, now, in I send a macano. I feel, ya open a new chapter.
Okay.
Now, you per se, so what here could you upon Chroma? Also, the NDC government led by John Mama hasn't done anything positive to be commended for. On your papa or lucky policy directions and yakano. MPP are buying before so you be free by mu. Messing a gold reserve. The Pajamwa could do a 32 tons Valentine. Obaye also best stabilize a CD. Tiawa no country now the ababi go. Only at the PBL. Say a buyer na MPP. Led by Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Tomo yesen komo yesa. Because they will be able to stabilize the CD. They say they this is a kind actually amount for no. Say your mama only anything be and he is not ready to change. In fact, Obesisa the West or the liability for Ghana.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we need to actually bear with him.
You have to tolerate him. That's he's the president. So, all right. Your friends and in Crawford, no money and or teach you in Crawford, who say, oh, or say, and those who dance to his tune. And I was sending or out, say, oh, Monco, test the water. So, let me meet me a quartet time. I best the president. That time, and Chef Fifikoti are stating it clear. Say, there's no
even within your own backyard, the crowd, there are a lot of people who disagree with that mindset.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Mamata. I won't wapu me.
Oh, Yamanado.
Yamafishapa, ain't you wanna pay?
You answer my officiapa.
That's Papa.
With the new ideas,
new generation,
new love for our country. Ghana is one. We all have one passport. And the woman from Assam, Donald Trump, Mauritanian with Venezuela.
Onya.
Miss Onya, Venezuela is South America. It's like Africa. So she thinks she has power in South America. She has power in Africa. Mauritania, Onya.
Into Mauritania, Mama Tower and the Aguna.
We have them in the Aguna. Because of their country, no. None is that. I said the whole thing. Now, I tell America for watch on how to deal with the drugs and so on. All drugs are way. I want America for way and Castle. And I feel so, oh no, what they develop woman in a different way. Because that was South America when I mean, African for yes, no. When you feel, no more bachelor one, the same thing, on when I was the natural, on also against you. On the women call another. Yeah, the new year, no, woman for English way of thinking. Uncle, what bad fashion? What did there? I saw no, who will be, one minute train for to fight for our own self. Naturally, be over time, some kakra after those. Our first, I don't want to mention them. Only a champion. Also, operation feed yourself, your own self. After that period, you know, Ghana's a son, come on, and to follow one pump and bobbin is it, come. So, Ghana, yeah, then. Oh, you can see. Mahoba you begins. American answer can't so there. What you can think for America, you yourself. Think what you can do for America, not what America will do for you. And you want to for America, they are very busy. Everybody is busy of how. Them are Obaya, Nara, no, family. There, what Benya Jimaje. One man that bush grandpa, Benya Jin, Wakaye, Wayakubab, a Behona, a Jimal Kodo, in a son, in a business, Rokodo. What me be saying himself, Africa, yeah, we're doing for more business for ourselves. No.
All right.
Inti sistiara mwa ya galamse wo free day nala yesasa yahu. That awara you de galamse monye. Ne start from different things. Ebiara fa dwena oya obenya bibia abem. Na ya ni nyinara dan ha dwena akaya politics. Eyi onye ni ye omientin na from bra omientin no nye ya bakasa kasa pi. Ebiara bakasa on for solution mbra. Musi ya Ghana no bako.
Mata endasi. Ya das papa. What's up you? Hello. 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 Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello, Marcus, you.
Yo, Valentine, good morning.
Morning, you want to pray?
Yo, Afishapa, Kenny, and Omiada.
Okay, Obia,
Boko there.
Bibia Boko, Muswe.
Bibia Boko. Since you produce a clean slate, since you started Bibia for tell me, back on the Akuku, since you move forward.
Okay.
And this is I feel I would be a positive from as some no crowd hard there, they are taught. Now, Valentine, after the Uram for us to say, you know, and somebody said, I'm my, you know, already, I'll buy a car, or say, you're not to about the used to make a cancer, the Obama Chavinia. And Valentine, I am just some beer that here, international politics. America, where you should see me, papa.
What are holding in your own?
I didn't see you now. So I am criticizing Sabi. Obia, the word, was sorry, nothing for only one Nigeria. Ultimately, we can about you know, I'll be decent. Can you imagine Sabi Sinrano? So, Putin, I call Ukraine and I call the America here. And actually, the best coffee in the world. But also, Valentine, maybe I can't see a percentage. You percent your money, I perfect. Tell you, to see my baby. But one we say, yes, international response has been swift. Before we are criticizing the way. What I said, but main players in Ankasa, Europe, they know what my doing, Wamonka, because also America. Maybe I was about ready, so I'm not for democracy. The only democracy in the man, on Fabra Judgment. On Fabra Judgment, or you should democracy when you shoot it. On Fabra Judgment, because one time to go to a country, some are cocky, the whole country is watching the crowd about cooking Napo.
Where capture?
And Valentine capture the other Brofocasa. Valentine, Madame Fubia, Madame Fua, Milini Angropa, and Milini Mamma so. Sabi, when they sabi Mr. Canopy. Oh, you're stupid. The power. See, I was that you be a grossy. Or since I know I can't of Brofumenti, that doesn't sound so didimatum. But who can the dream with you? I was didimatum. That's another say, a Brofocasa, yeah, sounds good. Right? Now, Valentine, how shall they see ya? One, I didn't hear you criticizing about this thing. One more year, sadly, we do of different countries. I'm aftermath for also chaos.
Yeah.
Into the man for casino. I can't know I'm got it. We'll be castle or you papa or why send your mother breed. Now, I will some crowd or kind of no, I'm not make crowd and said, yeah, Bamba, me have a foul you. Not all you,
yeah, number manage.
No, Valentine, I know we are seeing. Let me say, you know, man, would be a crew, and then I hear sound because I'm going to my own tongue. All my own tongue, and also our crew be baby. Now, we get the Genesis, you the sound on my way from Charlottetown.
Bancha, Marcus Ubekai, Noriega. Okay, no.
Why are the two of us?
Onosuna, he was purported to have dealt in the drug trafficking. Yeah, dear. I think this man has been also alleged to have committed the same crime. That is
Oh,
why.
Valentine.
I noticed a falsified information. I just want to ruin his life.
Valentine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Valentine. So we me pa wonu akwa. Na sa me sori na me no kokko nta akwa kra. So obi be ka se me magene nya na nya sa. So me nya excuse bi na me no ko se bia ade awo ye no me ni nye ho. Na Valentine me bi so aso mo da me sra ka yen me bri. Okay? The whole world won't not walk through door, huh? Now, what can't you say? The whole world do not walk through door, no, so you need to pursue to battle, do not better. That doesn't make sense. A narrative be no more pussy jacket. Other than watching
why I say, Omo capture, no, now call for jubility. Why was it so?
Valentine, one way we ask the other way. Oh, why are you bold, Valentine, you buy a chow?
Asem to me.
Asem to an abu ni pesa already, so because you be brave. Yes, I'm a nipa here. Why? I'm a nipa here. Asem
to from the look of things, you don't agree with what Trump did.
But Valentine, me say I system to the highest degree.
Okay.
System,
Okay.
Now, you should be able to see why. It's a breed.
Marcus Sudia, no. Line one, Yenti on the WhatsApp, no so.
Hello.
What funny?
Hello, funny.
Now, when you Trump was here, any day.
Well, the end say, the whole third world country, new other countries, presumption so on your power no pursue be a banner on your power no so no you pay and no near the cause to trouble no.
Okay.
So the two Western countries no election do not man for a command bribe. 7 man bravo or more be bravo no more to one no appointing in Nipa. Now you no accumulating money for himself and his family.
Okay.
And no idea air cost no Emma or money any stable no. Grandma say even though the prime minister and MP Okoto election na koton stand ne pop koton sama wam kra no wam go to no bribery say be you odi akwaya wam tradition and no ya di atiti no. Indeed, there's no fear so be could so say prime minister so will be between no good. Power, we want to stay there forever. And when you idea air course and you're careful, papa. For those who have make up for Russia for Momokoya, Ukraine, woman so called ideas, no classes, or for man. I bet you will be there. Science is a discussion of television, Russia. China. So I'm on to acquire Sadena, will be back home say. Let us a more creative bar president, a man for what we are seeing another. Until I had the bonnet. And so president, you two one say his power drunk to power and one pay. And they told some you in America, some say, young man, say, a man for here no blood son. She can't free her in there back. Cromba about say, I buy your just was at 200,000. She was always alone. Apart from local authorities, a staff and other institution, judiciary, everything about you. Or confess can only printing just a mere money. Necessarily, you see, I dance the dear Chroma, the deputy, I dance uncle for better. I'm young water, I'm a crona affair. Chroma on have no payment to who's a white shirt and yet him.
Over, I did.
I didn't about the mere politician. Tanan country plan and your mamma for Tremo, now Honky, Amra, no poverty will be other than that. That was what an international Chicago to be a dini. You would choose to come a man for one or 20 come economy, to grow.
All right, Yate, that's Papa of Asiki Studio. Hello.
Morning, Ram.
Over, let's say.
Yankopɔn adom ho me mo afishia pa.
Mamu na afishia pa damasi mu chira do pa. Yamisha mu na.
Yes, yeah, damasi. Me wa fasike me mo afishia pa Kwame, Nana Kwame, Kofi Francis, Marcus, Fred. Ye me nyina Uncle Joe. Lee wine. Me hunu or the same. Obrempong. Ma one two dina facha me dinu dosu. Me kaya nyambo every chine ko me ba betro aso. Amen. Ye men nyina dikren sister aba. That him ma me mam say wa wo him nana. Anti magi opia. Ye mamu nyina so akwa aba mamo fishia pa. Ya chitafo ne de fiada na me de modin ahyehye muso mo ya ade ma ne ye fe onyin kase na nanyankwasa na nanyankwada na ena no 26 hoje de tawa o mo ya ade ma ne ye fe me kwa de no madada ache ma wo mu tie sika no wo me de list ni nyina akom wo mu sababu wo mu nyina di
me ka so sa na
ebda wo mu nyina se eno no next time bi no samejijia obi anim so oba ya de oya akonta frenchim enti no enipa ne de ani die
is ya accountant o de get accountant
afa panyi ma me post kase abada kase ni de osuro ya de ma me amehaje enti obi bia onya bie Erade mma ne moho de wanya biso menim se anya bo apaye na ahokyere wom enti nyame mma wom su bi na next time no ye tua wom so anya pepa because e be promise enso ama enti menim se ahokyere kakra ba mu na ye nwie so e si esi afefu yes but still la wo bi ade bebo management ni de o ma bie wom nsem na da no mebobọ hoje de tedi no mi je dini kasie ba ko pa me kaya me samba ya no mapon
ho ano
mi nua be ma sofu yi ma mi ya man kai ni dini no me kai mi sofu yi ma facha me wache enya bo apaye
okay
Wonu kwa di ama mi trim.
Okay.
Sofu yi ma me mo official papa, we ne makuma ne adofo nyina me mo official pa. Adwuma wo ye no so ye February so obua hoje de tampa management. Ai, akwa David so ye chia no pa. Eva.
Yeah.
Me de Donald Trump aye no. Me Venezuela de no. Me said that emma ma onsa me international unity bia ya na atamesin ensem bi okan di ufi asem no yam tadi me fi asem but okwaya ni Nigeria ne de na me fo ano so pa because untimi fa
Boko Haram fo na
Boko Haram fo no sa wo moja wo mu wo som Kristo ni so som ne soma na wo de bia mu ti wo mu twa wo mu tina de bomb sa wo na wo kum wo mo so ma salai wo bu begu Ghana wo bu begu Ghana e so kro no ne awudie kidnapping are Timidian ko si wo mu nyina akra se wo ho a me ade oya ya na ye me fe pa no na se de me kan Venezuela de ne de enim de for mo kekan na me tie bie na do akoye no Nigeria Boko Haram na de wo so chi me so mo chi wo ti ma me ncha chi yi mu wo som obi so ne soma was a force fa wo ma bofom wa fa mo fom a me ba bekum are Edensem hunu no. Timi de ane de me gba na ba so pa so wo kum wo mu nyina akora wo mu di sa abone no ahyi wo masema Nigeria fo ho to wo mu a enka me bo na ba so pa wa ya ade Eva ya kan we no ye koyesu ye fie kakra
yentiu
enne NDC for say drones eka wo mu 175,000 cedis Eninti no baby asa aka no
175 million
sorry 175 million cedis enti no what they say wo mo astop drone na eye adwuma no we na ya na ye kanu Mr. Mahama wufra ba mu 2017 na half insurance amanya nimdie ni nyansa fa ma na fi ya beka ni pe na wobi de ba ye kura mo kan say emema where you have insurance na be kumunya pade ne ade no ye no obeja aka 1.2 billion Ghana cedis na to ho MPP ni akufo ado a wo ba wo betua ka mu gigidi no ma betua 1.2 billion na MPP betua na 175 million into what council draw service ajinipa kwabro 4.2 million ajinipa nkwa enro moja hwan even kolakura kwayan so ha drones to me de ko we wo koka no obi anya akokodru abegina radio say wa pamon crofo free radio so no obi anya akokodru say me
obi so pamon obi
are ko ayisa akoya oba oya yi wo say me papa ye oti Finland be di matama wo say me pamon crofo ye tue sika so di ojane ena dan li ka amanankan e betutu line so di obenya sika akọ ye tue sika so wo ni din wo ojane
ebi ano otua
oh bro me anyere o Van Dijk ma me ya so be chat ro se wo bai na nko yi ne ho ade ankali be ba bejo ne ka tai we o we wa mu ka se ma ojidi entivane say yetiminya 292 million ekoto sanitary pad na 24-hour economy sika NDC for charge so mudi ramu nyina ye 110 million as a 24-hour economy na we and I know say kwame panyini NDC panyini wateta ya omuta omse ko Ghana bai wateta ya diamond na 23 no de ne tibeta ho no oja na ye 24-hour economy no o mechilem say yetimi anya muasne sika 292 million akoto muasne na nipa gu ho nya adwuma yentua necessika yentua teacher sika just say o mani ma ye poto basa na ye twetwa sika ma presidency adwuma president Akufo-Addo wodi nipa 85 ye no Mr. Mahama say wodi nipa 60 na ye Mr. Mahama budget the atosumienu 2.8 billion. President Akufo-Addo budget 350 million. Nipa way one bed na say can there be my the whole year 2.8 billion or no now all protected public personnel 2.8 billion. Now the most woman na push ya for ya for no 350 million. Now ofosu kwache ya 78 million. Now ko job pound kruma nim de ni nyansa ya man 4 million. Nipa we nipa nya ho ebe kasa ma wo mu na de midisi ni say ofa CK wusuma Ghana for de bia Yesu Kristo wasi Jerusalem ma munsuma mo hone mo ma suma wo mane wa busua wo mo wa ha na hiafo no wo mo na da bia ye na MPP party papa nim diafo party ba nya de nema betutu yie ma wo mo a no ma tena se na nkrofo etumfuturo agu ho mani including educated like teachers and nurses na NDC fo abedada wo meto fa CK suma wo yele ne wo mane wo busua mo wo krom ha na ahiafo ne neto mo a wo mo mraba embrama Ghana nanka titrufu e wo krom ha kra ya NDC fo anu omo kasa van midi besi wa ha ya NDC fo ya nu omo kasa na si edum katia timi agina ho se ye kokot toilet paper kra na enkura bi enti ye de ensa hunu ne koye na ni party krom ha se so ye NDC ni wantimi ankose ati edum katia da na MPP nanka Jomboadu ne nasefo nanka ma beka sa asewenti ka afisa party no ka yen matitiri ne animdiafo ya beka sa kra mo mu da enso mo no hey one logo line no mo di su John.
They protect the status quo and the integrity of the party. They protect it.
Wait, now on minor ya come 58 years and President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia ban. Now you go reserve in Yinamina Bema Kwame Kai. Now you 8 tons. Ye pajama quadru 32 tons. Emma Kwame Penny said the entia. Ya pajama nya gold bebre no galam say. Sata momwa per logic no. Woman say reserve ye forest 8 as a 9. And I say less than 1 year woman say 33 abeka ho 35 abeka ho. Ama na ye 44. What is what by obo ho wa. Enti ye busa say ye na mo say say no ye nya bi ka ho. Ama na watam 10 billion. Somebody stabilize the city. Na momo dia no a momo sibanya bi aka ho na kana ko de breye. Vemo bekasa se ye ya pamon crofo free radio so vemo.
Hello. Nini.
Hello, Val.
You are busy doing something with somebody. You can't hear me. Why is the president is the president calling you?
You say
the president is calling you.
Ghana is in the perfect mood. The Ghanaians are happy.
Hey,
oh
Donald Trump has done something quite outrageous, and it is going to be something like we've not discovered this history before. This was done when Noriega was arrested, when they purported that he was doing drugs. Now the same thing has happened to Maduro. Now your government have sent a statement to the U.S. president that he should release the president and his wife, because this is imperialism kind of tactics, and it is not good for our democracy. What do you have to say about this? Let's hear you.
Valentine,
yes.
You know what has gone on in Venezuela? This has been something that Americans have mean Maduro for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
When Hugo Chavez died and he took over, he continued to lose election. He continued to lose election. You see, and every time he read election, and these people, they were able to, sustain him for some time now. But it has come a time that they have to, come and take over. Actually, we don't. Ghana, we have to be a little bit. We have to keep quiet a little bit. We don't have to, involve in this, because I see it as something international. We have to keep quiet because it's. Though we have to intervene as a nation of the United Nations. We are part of the United Nations. So when something is going on wrong, actually we have to raise our voice a little bit.
But Okujato raised and also put out a statement cautioning the president to release him, because what he did is unparalleled. It's something that is inhumane to a president who is superintending a sovereign state, that the president will defy all odds and go effect arrest with his delegation to go and affect the rest of a president. Today he's standing trial. He's going for question because he's been alleged to have committed several crimes, including drug trafficking and all sort of things. Now, do you think Okujato did a mistake to put out the statement quickly, to have waited for a while before making such statement?
We came in so early, but the problem is Valentine. As a United Nation, we're part of United Nations. Yeah. So if something is going wrong, at least if we say it, fine. But I think we should have waited a little bit. Okay. Yeah. But I don't want to concentrate on that one. Today I don't want to do politics. Okay. But I just want to create awareness for my fellow Ghanaians. Look, we have to be very careful with our telephones. We shouldn't, be holding the telephone for a long time, because even we, the elderly people, we have to be very careful, because the radiation enters our hands. Sometimes it makes our hands very, you feel pains in your fingers. It's the cause of radiation. We have to be very careful. And if you have stroke, avoid telephone. If you avoid telephone, you can get your healing on time. I've made a research. I've read a lot of books.
That's one day. Now you are becoming a scientist.
Oh, yeah, because look, doctors will not be able to tell you the problem that you have is the cause of radiation.
Okay.
You see? So therefore, Valentine, I just want to boost, I want to boost the morals of Ghanaians. Look, Ghana is my happy home, yeah? Land of more natural resources with mighty talents and warriors, self-reliance, freedom, and justice. So therefore, resolve to do a good thing now and every day to your neighbor, to your community. There lies the happiness of a nation.
Okay.
Long live Honorable Chairman Nini, long live NDC, long live Ghana. Tomorrow I'll come and do my politics. God bless you all.
Bani, before you go, Fifi Kote, your secretary, in fact, on the 31st, they're trying to do a remembrance day for our late former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, and I think you observe the protocol. He has been very emphatic about the third term. He was rigorous, saying that those who are saying a third term they are making that clarion call. They are bootlickers and sycophants. What do you have to say about it before you take a leave of you?
Yeah, I don't know the reason why some people, in their minds up to today, they continue to mention third term. Okay, Fifi Kote, he said that out of emotion.
Okay.
But the problem is that when Ghanaians, it will come a time, because we still have 3 years ahead of us. So I think with this third term people are talking about, it's too early. We have to relax and see how the economy will be, because there are some areas that we have to solve. Because the Minister of Local Government in terms of sanitation, Minister of Transport in terms of transportation, you see, there are some small things that have to be done. So, in the third term issue, shouldn't be a vote of contention for Ghanaians. Okay. Let's wait, you see. So Fifi Kote is set it out of emotion because it's becoming too much. It's becoming too much. Let's wait. Look, John have already said he doesn't want to go. He wants to go and do farming. After his presidency, he wants to go and sit in a place and do, farming, like Obasanjo is doing. So I think it's about time we have to, relax with this third term. To me, even if it's not coming, he can be a backbencher and help. You see, so the third term, we have to relax. And my fellow NDCs, let's relax and forget about this third term. Let's do the job. There's a lot of job ahead of us. We have to do a lot of jobs. Okay. You see, like I'm saying, we have a lot of we still have to tackle the Galamsey. There are a lot of things that we have to do. Okay. So fellow Ghanaians, fellow NDCs, please, let's concentrate on our job and do it better for Ghanaians to see. Even if John Mama is not there and another person is coming, Ghanaians will still have the courage on the NDC. So let's do the job. The job is very important. All right. Let's forget about the MPP with their propaganda, with their figures and past tense and present tense.
Nini, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Nini Sudiano. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Efoline.
Yeah.
Yo, yenti wano page. Afishapa.
Yo, ano page yemi onso afishapa ni Madame Lani. Mandike no Hot FM of the phone and awesome papa mother song yang. I'm here to assist for you. Okay. Dancing young people phone you also Afishapa. Awesome papa ni kasapa. Any casa there. Over Casa Guru Radio 2025. I'm a to Ghana for some. And it's a near old NDC. Pack your war bear moon, over Casa position. Just be account. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to reflect, look the back, use the past to correct what where we went wrong in 2026 and straighten ourselves very well. It's, in a way, the communicators in Afishapa and Ghana for our radio. So, foreign minister, or you're incompetent, or you're immature in politics, And you say no. Ghana is a member of United Nations. But within the United Nations that we are members, Ghana is non-aligned. And you may be saying, you have to pre and issue statement.
Yeah.
You need a medal. Wow. Now, how could you play an idea? It will go against Ghana as time goes on. Because one of the countries is only America for quarter summer. Visa science was near the anything you want to do, you will never go back to because Trump, or you do me, I do you.
Don't you see?
I idea. Now, when you hear this statement, the other Quakoma embassy. Oh, then you are not yet. Of Quakoya, or could you do Minister of the Year? Afu Abanwe, Domham Aban, Abanya. Over to me, everything in back is an one quality back from about Mujayeti. Listen, name no time $10 billion. Eddie Mark by Diaspora Montari in your Bema. Only sold at great auto gold, Emma gold board for the Galamsey board. Let's just say, who have one, a Busham and on my wall. And society we now the part you will cook what to do, and now you might go down and you could or see managing director was next. Mimia, Marco, or also our housing. Over house one, on one joint Bawarosi advisor to the president. You name it, a second Ketiaba, 50 quarter year, or your director of a commercial bank. You name it, and yeah. The president, George Debra, or also all of them are part of this government. So how do you want to describe this government? Something that you said against Kufuor that he is doing family and friends. And Kufuor and also family and friends, he knows more part in you too. And so by Akufu, any Gora Akufu, because somebody Akufu, the good woman in a thousand in but don't matter about because they have no relationship. No, the distance and yet you all know can you just see a two no week? No, be all shared, move by Saturday in the because Ghana journalism, right now, the profession is not the media, it's not a profession now, it's audition. Now, go something large, they are hearing it. Are your home coach, are your home moderator, are your home investigator. And I won't all directing for because we are government platform. Yet, the home who got on gold, I cover $214 million. Any we have to investigate it, and we will try, we push it for them to investigate it. Over time, news fire that Saturday and Canadian people over here damage control. Oh, yeah. Kabiru is posting. Sometimes any new Kabiru is posting. No, I can't see. No, Kabiru different. But we are going to dig to the bottom of this. See, it will come $10 billion, $10 billion, remove from Benite, on one of our gold. Meanwhile, that person too is related to Bawa. Bawa Montari, and also Muhammad. It's only in Yano. And now Ibrahim Muhammad, you the Sankofa gold Amano, you the black gold Amano, you send the diamond gold mine to Farmer. And then you look at it, it's going to be actually in the Osaka box site. Now, Ghana media no more where I can not tomorrow. And if you don't see us to soon be no more of a not tomorrow. And remember, young and everybody in football. There's somewhere a year, Frankie Kujoka. Say, are too so 24% less than own here. Go and dig your well and fetch water from it, or go and fetch some ponds and fetch water from it. When did you realize this, Frankie Kujo? You are the mouthpiece of the masses, of the vulnerable people. But if you guys are not speaking right now because your stomach is full, your mouth is full, Whose service are you rendering now? Is it to the president, or you become a bootlicker right now that everything that goes wrong against this president you don't see?
All right.
Because you are eating.
Thank you.
Any look at what they're doing. Bootlickers. And they are two Obian Kankalampi same view. Obian LGBTQ same view. Because media never can't ask them a lot. Only negotiation where you know. Now we MPP in our radio station. Let's say Kufa the Tiholo or my Lebanese ministerial appointment. That is the more reason why they were kicked out. That is the more reason why the Kufa government they were kicked out because of this. So are you repeating the same thing? And you've done more than what even a Kufa did. So we are watching. Media more gatekeepers, you know. They say the moment be a gate now and flag gate, and I'm watching her. Are we practicing journalism or audition? And no one here wants to say, and young one there, independent, you know, the thing you Ghana journalists be what you may interview American president, American British prime minister.
I may interview. That's Papa. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, but I can do the do.
Rico, into one of them.
I feel sharper.
I've been coming to you. Into
I'm a politician.
I will be on your part, but oil crew my empty can be. Who's who crew
our mama said it was a funina from you, Valentine, do the do. And the year for 365 days, national band, first Monday of the new year. Never so. Yes, South Asia, Papa, Bandai, Mr. Bandai, Pasolo, Mama Yanko, bro, so or a bad boy, or a bad man. But as a man can, as a crabia, Mama Kanye, Mr. Sami Jamfi. Nasama or da but to Padui or Yahmutso. Namapacho, a monopoly. Oh, no, the sole buyer of Ghana gold. So a Galamseo, so a mine, you know, so a small scale mine. Oh, what the two nations are CEO of Cocoa Board.
No, CEO of Gold Board.
Gold Board. I'm a Cocoa Board now. And I want a new one about Gold Board. I come a Bansika. And you sika a Bansika, a man 7 United Sika. That I put to gold. There was a cotton. Ne monopoly person. I got on gold. Why work out? But you, where was it? The boss of me, what catch it from now, what catch a drain in Guasapo. Or a lawyer, when you're there, or a Timam who be. Sammy is a lawyer by profession. Legon trade. And Pennyful would training. No, that drain, what the knowledge at the team. Never catch and the Akoton gold, na Abokawa. But you, Nasa Beno. But you, Nasa Beno, or what the Madi. I'm not on oil. A drink. Oh, farmer, would be a drink. No, what you are, no, I drink. Now, I catch up by day putting there. And then the equi women, I don't want to, I will count in John. No, my president, you know, the Madi, Otsi, and I Otsi, the Nabofra, Akoton, Japade, Abokawa. Now, president, you know, Otsi, I now want it.
Okay. Food for thought.
Food for thought. Oh Lord, I don't complete you. You didn't complete. I didn't books to go. Books we do part one. Wolf. Yellow, first year.
Oh, okay.
When I'm the business management, I'm going to 2.1.
Oh, Rico, Sanko back, now got Triado.
You said my retire.
Oh, I retire.
Mamma Yay, na Ubisu Emra, but I share a bushel for this a man, son, a queer broodney, other broodney, other girl, no one got what I.
Well, that's Rico, the Etienne Canonti, any anno Sudi, I don't know. And check never my Musuano pay, hot the guitar online, and I was with you and paying Mamuna Fisher pa. And somebody be now could Donald Trump and Sema Abba na Venezuela president Wako Tamno and then a hunkafu. And he ama and Semno I be brave. Mafu be na so Edo Magin Chiraba. Ebinum so say kyerɛ sɛ Donald Trump kwan of fast na ye bi so kyerɛ sɛ da bi untumi nko bi man so enkwa nkɔkye no emfa no emma wo man mu sɛ wo ba try nipa no ɛno nso so yɛ bibia emwa nti ɛho nsɛm ɛna yɛtiti anɔpɛ yi ɛbɛdɔ bibia ase ɛnkyɛ na ɛbɛma mu so anɔpɛ hot digital ɛna wotie
interviews and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Hot! You're booming your part. Hot! You're booming your part.
Happy New Year. 32 of their staff reports. They actually commended us. This is what they said. Very important. The BOG has significantly strengthened its reserve buffers. The scaling up of the domestic good purchase program has allowed the BOG to miss its program reserve accumulation objectives, reaching the 2028 reserve coverage target in 2025. This is IMF. But however, they come to paragraph 36 and says that the program poses risk to the financial sustainability of the BOG because for the IMF, as a central bank, being the last bank of resort, they don't want this cost to negatively impact the books of the central bank. So they think that fiscal authorities must come in. And that conversation is ongoing. Of course, the Minister for Finance must also find a space for that in the budget. So that is all there is. But lastly, in concluding, I realize I have just 4 minutes. When you hear people talk, Kojo Ponkroma, somebody has made a loss of $240 million. He could have built 12 Agenda 11 hospitals.
Correct.
Then you ask them, how much losses did you make under that same program? How much? They can put that table too on the screen for viewers to see. I have given you, this is from the Bank of Ghana, all G4R losses since its inception. Am I equalizing to score political points? No. Am I comparing losses? No. I am exposing the duplicity and hypocrisy of a group of people who know that G4R is not for profit and yet are kicking the fuss about losses. People who themselves made more losses. So let's calculate how many hospitals their losses could have built. In 2022, they only bought 76 kg of gold. They made a loss of 74 million cedis. In 2023, they bought only 24.8 tons of gold. They made a loss of 2.1 billion cedis. In 2024, they bought only 45.3 tons of gold. They made a loss of 4.8 billion only last year. 4.8 billion. So, Kojo Ponkroma, tell us how many Agenda 111 hospitals your loss in 2024, which is 4.8 billion, could have built. 2025, we have bought higher volumes, 103 from 45, more than double. Look at the value, more than times 3, from $3.1 billion to $10.8 billion. And we are saying our loss will be determined, our cost will be determined after audit. But let's assume your $300 million is correct. That is $3 billion. Is that not a reduction despite higher volumes, despite higher prices? If you bought 103 tons like we have done, and brought in $10.8 billion, you would have made maybe times 10.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go.